Slamet Peggy! Mio here!
And Kino here to tell you that there are many animated Batman movies. Some are good, some are bad, but none are weirder than Batman Ninja.
The first ever Batman anime! From Japan!
You see, in 2017, a trailer dropped for Batman Ninja, and the response was fairly positive.
DC is known for cranking out animated projects that nobody asked for, but this was different. This was anime.
And people like anime, so the DC fans were pretty excited to see what was cooking.
This was not some rinky-dink anime.
No! Attached to this project were some big names from some big anime.
Nice!
The movie was released in April 2018, and the world would never be the same.
IGN gave the film a score of 9.7 out of 10, meaning that the movie more than likely was in color, and presumably meant that it was kind of good.
But the word on the street was the opposite of positive. It was negative.
Redditors were having quite the discussion online, but we've learned that species should not be trusted. So let's dive in and find out for ourselves how bad or good is Batman Ninja.
Also, thanks to the YouTube channel Flashback FM for doing the devil's work and uploading a bunch of clips that we could use for this edit. Okay, so the movie starts off with Batman fighting Gorilla Grodd. Depending on whether you're watching the English dubbed version or the Japanese sub version, there's a brief Catwoman voiceover that is completely worthless.
And this time, curiosity almost killed this cat.
Nobody asked.
For most of the video, we'll be referring to the Japanese version with English subtitles, but we'll reference the English dub when needed.
Anyways, Grodd has built some kind of wacky time machine and says that Gotham's most naughty villains are his guinea pigs. But Batman is there to stop him, and Catwoman is just there?
The machine activates and Batman is transported back in time to feudal Japan, where he's attacked by samurai goons wearing Joker masks. Whoa, that's crazy!
The goons say they've been ordered by their master to take out someone dressed as a bat. Makes sense so far? No? Well, don't worry, soon things will be explained and you'll still be confused.
Batman beats up the goons and confirms that he's been shot back in time before heading off to investigate this master guy. Turns out it's the Joker, baby! And we get an excellent example of how different the Japanese and English dubs can be.
Batman fights the Joker, but then he gets surrounded by more goons.
Is it me, or is it getting hot in here?
He manages to escape and runs into none other than the skank, Catwoman.
Meow, meow, meow. Don't be afraid. It's just a little cat call.
Batman uses his helmet to look at footage from the day of the incident. Apparently, 2 years have passed since Catwoman and everyone else, multiple villains as well as Nightwing, Red Hood, Robin, and Robin, arrived in Japan.
Now, we don't know why Japan specifically, but the reason Batman didn't arrive at the same time as everyone else is probably because But the reason Batman didn't arrive at the same time as everyone else is probably because he was delayed by Grodd, so the rules are similar to those in Thor Ragnarok and other media which I will not reference.
The villains, Penguin,
Poison Ivy,
Deathstroke,
Two-Face,
and of course Joker, are all waging war against each other to take over Japan. Not good. But the title cards are actually kind of cool. Pretty sick, actually. Batman and Catwoman decide to team up and raid Joker's castle, where the time machine thingy-majiggy is being kept.
While walking around dressed as Christian missionaries, they find out the Joker is already about to kick off the Industrial Revolution early. The Batman also finds out that Alfred got transported back to the past, and somehow the Batmobile also got brought along as well. How convenient!
They have conversations about various weird things, depending on whether it's the dub or the sub, but are interrupted by cannon fire! Or because this doesn't take place in the actual DC timeline, non-cannon fire! Batman jumps in the Batmobile and drives off to fight the Joker in his castle.
All appears as you would expect. Within Joker's castle grows giant mechanical arms and grabs the Batmobile.
Batman responds by transforming the Batmobile into the Batwing.
But Joker grabs that too.
You know what I like best about you? You're so predictable.
Batman then transforms the Batwing into a Batcycle and busts into the castle.
But oh no! Joker flips the switch and now the castle's arms are about to fall on a mother and child.
Batman goes to rescue them.
But then, Sumo Bane appears out of nowhere and Batman has to transform the Batcycle into a Bat mech. You think that this movie is made by Hasbro because that's a lot of transforming.
He beats Bane and rescues the mother and child, somehow before the hand falls. But oh no! It was all a trick! Who could have seen this coming? Certainly not the world's greatest detective!
Poor Beth! He always falls for the same tricks.
No, it makes me sad. He's so dumb.
Batman has been more or less defeated,
No, if only your friends were around to come by and say hi.
but then Bat Ninjas pop out of the ether and rescue him.
What? Ninja Batman!
Batman meets up with Nightwing and Red Robin, and then Batman discovers something else, that there's a whole clan of Bat Ninjas who have dedicated their whole lives to a prophecy about a Bat Ninja coming from the future to bring peace to the land with the Bat God.
Legend foretells that when the country is in chaos, a foreign ninja wearing the mask of a bat will come.
Or something like that.
Later, Batman is scheming about how to defeat Joker without any 21st century weapons when Robin runs up with his yee-yee-ah haircut and tells Batman that Grodd wants to talk. I know that Robin's hairstyle is at least somewhat similar to hairstyles from Future Japan, but boy howdy, we were not expecting that. Also, Robin has a pet monkey now. How quaint.
When Batman finally meets the brainy ape, Grodd says that all he wanted to do with the time machine is to send all the villains to a place beyond space and time.
I was going to send them someplace far away so I could take over Gotham myself. But your interference brought us to this time and place.
How's that?
We are both responsible for what transpired that night.
But oopsie daisy, he accidentally sent everyone back to feudal Japan. He also says that it's Batman's fault. I guess. In the end, Grodd agrees to help Batman defeat the Joker by being a decoy. Or Batman will be the decoy, depending on the dub.
They manage to ambush Joker on a boat, but then Joker whips out some gun turns and starts shooting Batman's ninja. But it turns out that those were decoys. Batman then unveils the ninja submarine, and Bat Ninjas swarm the ship.
You underestimate your opponent, Joker!
Just like you always do.
Look at the top of his head!
Catwoman fights Harley Quinn, Batman and Grodd fight Joker, and everyone else fights goons and stuff. And in the end, the good guys win.
But then, Grodd betrays Batman by brainwashing Batman's buddies. But that doesn't work because the ninjas are too steel-hearted. But Grodd has a backup plan. It turns out that Grodd was working with Two-Face the whole time.
Wow! Are you confused yet? Nobody cares! Catwoman, against all odds, manages to bargain with Grodd using a piece of the time machine she swiped off of Harley Quinn. So Catwoman is indeed a little skank.
Joker blows everyone up, or at least himself and Batman. Really not sure where everyone else is.
We then get all the villains posing in front of their We then get all the villains posing in front of their castles with power converters that go to the time machine. Everyone's castle's names make sense, except for Deathstroke's. It's just called Cannon Fire Castle.
If you know anything about Deathstroke, you know that his main weapon of choice typically isn't a cannonball. Batman wakes up, and despite questioning what is a Batman anyway without his technology, he will keep on fighting. We then switch art styles and go to still images. This scene just shows that they're making plans of attack, nothing too interesting. But then Batman gets a message saying that Red Hood has found Joker and Harley, so I guess that's kind of cool.
Even though we haven't seen Red Hood before this point. But I hope you weren't getting too comfortable with this art style, because we're changing art styles again. Red Hood pops up and then sidles on over to some farmers that are farming.
If you don't show your face, I'll break your arm! I knew you were alive, Joker!
And then he beats them within an inch of their life because he thinks that the man and his wife are Joker and Harley. I guess the green hair gave it away.
A note on Red Hood. His English voice actor, quite good, but his character design is strange, to say the least.
Batman shows up before Red Hood puts some lead in the head of Joker.
Batman thinks that Joker has lost his memory and tells Red Hood to leave them be. But literally seconds, actual seconds after they leave, Joker and Harley regain their memories.
It's explained later, but let's get it out of the way now. Joker and Harley planted flowers that would return their memories after said flowers bloomed. And I guess this flower would be used in the Joker gas or something.
Not only is it convenient that such a flower exists and was found by Joker, but Joker's also extremely lucky that the flowers bloomed seconds after Batman left. So basically, most of Joker's plan could be summarized by a single meme.
My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.
A month passes, and all the villains gather together in the field of death to beat each other's brains in. One might question why everyone is fighting over Japan. Two-Face's castle can literally walk across water, and they have boats! Why not just go somewhere else where there's no competition? On another note, why is the Penguin literally using penguins as his henchmen? I don't think there are any penguins in Japan. I could be wrong about that.
I wonder how many hours a penguin can legally work a day. A question for another time. Meanwhile, Batman decides that he will fulfill the destiny and the prophecy of the Bat Ninja by dressing up as a samurai and leads the Bat family into battle.
Back with the villains, they all realize there's only 35 minutes left in the film, so they have to put on a spectacle for the audience.
They all turn their moving castles into giant robots. Oh my!
Seriously, what? How? What? How?
Batman and company arrive on the scene just in time to see Two-Face betray Grodd.
Your luck's run out. I'm gonna rip you limb from limb, Grodd! Denied.
Grodd predicted this, though, so using his mech that is somehow stronger than all the others, he beats all the villains!
It turns out Grodd manipulated the villains into building mechs. He supplied them with the technology, and he proceeds to brainwash all of them. He starts combining the mechs with the intention of staying in the past so that he can rewrite history.
I'm going to rule this country and turn it into a kingdom of monkeys and rewrite the history of the world!
But then, Joker pops back into the story and kicks Grodd and Catwoman out of the castle. After Batman rescues them, Joker finishes uniting all the mechs into an ultra-powerful Voltron Mega Mech.
Unite and serve the sixth heavenly deity, Lord Joker!
How will the heroes be able to stop such evil? There's only one solution that makes sense for this movie.
By calling in millions of monkeys! Oh! Robin uses a flute given to him by Grodd to call in the monkey horde. That makes sense.
But oh no, the monkeys can't hold onto the mech. Luckily, Monmi arrives.
Who's she?
With 2 sets of monkey paws and a pair of his own lips and lungs, Robin is able to play a new song. And now the monkeys start forming up until they've become one giant chibi monkey. Ah!
Impressive as that is, it is no match for Joker's flamethrower. Flame on! I mean, what was supposed to say there. And Joker begins to roast the monkeys for all they're worth. You're trash, you're worthless, you never amount to anything, you'll never be real monkeys.
But just when all hope was kinda sorta lost, millions of bats swoop in. Now there's bats. Millions of bats swoop in and put out the flames.
The bats then combine. The bats then combine with the giant chibi monkey to become a giant version of the classic costume Batman, who is some sort of Bat God! Remember when we said there's only 35 minutes remain when the castle's turned to mechs? Well, that was only 16 minutes ago. A lot has happened. Much has transpired.
Oh gosh. Giant Batman anime punches Joker's mech. And the Bat family raids the castle and starts fighting people. Batman fights Joker. Catwoman fights Harley again.
Time for some girl-on-girl action.
What do you mean by that?
And say goodnight!
And the Robins fight everyone else. Is everyone okay out there? Including Nightwing. He's one of the Robins, by the way. I just count them all as the same thing. It doesn't matter. Nobody here has any personality anyway. Sorry, I'm getting off track.
The Robins beat their villains. Catwoman kills Harley.
Keep your tongue to yourself.
Or at least she should be dead. And the monkeys start dismantling the mech, causing it to start collapsing.
Batman and Joker enter a Stage 3 final battle. And it's worth mentioning some of the actual good things in the movie real quick.
The animation is done really well, even if we're not a big fan of the 3D-esque style.
The fight scenes are pretty cool, especially the last one. And Joker's easily the best character in the whole movie. It's not even close.
If you ever wanted an anime Joker, this movie has it in the best way possible.
Anyway, back to the movie. Batman and Joker fight for like 8 minutes, unironically, actually like 8 minutes, and Batman finally beats him.
And then they all return back to Gotham. The end.
Yay!
But that's not all! That's not all, I tell you!
It's not all?
In the post-credit scene, we see that the present is not the same as it once was.
Dun, dun, dun!
Wait, Bruce rides away in some kind of carriage, but he left the bat symbol on the back. Why?
Alright, let's go and start off with some good things here for our overall review and all that. As we mentioned, the animation's pretty nice.
The Japanese voice acting's pretty good, and some of the American voice acting's pretty good too. The fight scenes, on average, are quite enjoyable to watch, although some of them last a little bit too long.
It was very creative to use like 3 different art styles in this movie. Pretty interesting.
And the movie's definitely not predictable.
And it's not a poorly made movie. Like we said, the animation quality and all that put together means it was a fully sculpted and created project that communicated some kind of vision. It wasn't compromised by bad quality and cheap production.
All that being said, the movie is pretty weird, to say the least. So the reason people didn't like it at first, probably, was because it was not only really weird, but really, really, really weird in the last half.
That combined with a trailer that wasn't exactly accurate to the tone of the movie, and that people did not get what they were hoping for.
ヒーローに人殺しはできねえ。だけど俺にはお前が殺せるんだよ。Batman.
Now we do want to reiterate, this movie does have good qualities, but overall it's just too much. Even for us. An anime-style Batman movie could have been a lot better, but they kind of fumbled the bag by adding in a bunch of monkeys and bats and things that just didn't make much sense. Plus, the movie as a whole is just, and then this happened, and this happened, and that happened.
Having all the Robins there was nice though, but it does make you wonder why no version of Batgirl was there, especially considering one of the Batgirls is actually canonically Japanese.
Even though there's a lot of characters in the movie, none of them really have distinguishable personalities. They're all fairly plain and have no character development, and this version of Damian isn't really that comic book accurate at all, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but they didn't improve his character either.
So while this movie is rather wacky and a bit fun, it is extremely flawed. And overall, I don't know if I suggest watching it, maybe?
If you're interested, check it out. If not, don't.
They're making a sequel, so hopefully they learn from the criticism from this one and improve that one.
Perhaps in the future, we'll cover the second movie, especially if this video gets a lot of likes. So if you enjoyed, like the video, subscribe, and check out this video over here.
Or check out this video over here. And until we see you somewhere else, in the wise words of Penguin.
Wah, wah, wah. Goodbye.